So we will call the meeting to order. Hi, everybody. Oh, I was supposed to do something. I'm already a failure at Zoom. I'm sorry. I wanted to be able to share the screen with you to show you some things. And it seems like I'm not going to be able to do that. But let's go right to the minutes. Did everyone get a copy of the minutes?
Yes.
Anybody have any changes to them? No. Wake up, people, it's August. Anybody has a problem with the minutes? Jean, can you? Jean, start your audio. Joe? My team of Zoom helpers was supposed to be here, but they're nowhere to be seen.
Can you hear Jean?
I need Ben. Oh dear. What would I do without children? I don't know. If there are no problems with the minutes, can I have a motion to accept the minutes?
I make a motion to accept the minutes as presented.
Second?
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, great. Ben, this is my son, Ben. This didn't give me the chance to put in any kind of a key or anything like that.
What do you mean by
So
a key?
how can I share the screen with these nice people? Oh,
I told you,
I thought I had
bottom
to.
center of the page. Oh, you are not the host? So
I am the host.
Let's see here.
It didn't give me the option to. Participants. Click on the
you-
participants.
Sure that you are,
Claim host.
let's try that.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll put that in.
Or one.
One more. Great.
Now I can, okay, I'm going to do that later.
Okay.
Okay.
All
Thank you,
right.
Ben.
Holler if you need me.
Sorry, guys. All right. All right, so we're off to a rocky start. The first thing on our agenda is the demolition delay bylaw issues. And one of the issues, of course, that we had from the last meeting was 102 New Salem Street, and whether or not we would like to hold a public hearing on whether or not we would like to invoke the demolition delay on the structure at 102 New Salem Street. Since our last meeting, most of us have gone to take a look at the building and have gotten some other information about it. So what do you think? Does anybody have any thoughts? Do we want to, after having seen the building and getting kind of some of the backstory of the building, do we want to invoke the demolition delay on the building? Mr. Tavano, I see that you're there. You joining the board now? Okay.
Well, naturally, I don't want to delay it, but I'm.
Right. I'm just indicating, just want you to know that we see you and we know you're here.
Oh, yeah, no, I know everyone else is there too.
Okay. All right. All right, everybody. In my opinion, I was surprised, frankly, that the building inspector had not the current building inspector, but the old building inspector had given a demolition permit for the interior of the building. I didn't think that our bylaw would allow that, but in fact, a demolition permit had been given for the interior of the building. And as a result of that, Mr. Tavano took the windows out of the second floor of the building, which I don't know if that is really an interior demolition or not. I think we're going to have to speak to the building inspector to make sure we're on the current building inspector, to make sure we're on the same page as him. I would like to vote to have the public hearing at our regular meeting in September. Does anyone have opinions about that? Jean, we still can't hear you. You agree? Jean agrees. Anyone else? Jen, I think you're muted too.
Yes, I am. I'm in agreement with you.
Okay, Fran?
I'm in agreement. Let's have a public hearing.
Okay, Kathlena?
I also agree.
Okay, Therese?
Yeah, I mean, the public hearing sounds like, yeah, something that we should go forward with to me, so.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, then we're all in agreement. So that's a vote. So Mr. Tavano, we will see you if you like, at our public hearing, which we will advertise in the item, and it will be at our September meeting, which
What
is,
exactly, I'm sorry, what exactly, just explain the process to me because I'm unfamiliar with it. So we have a public meeting.
Yeah.
To determine,
whether the building is preferably preserved.
well, I mean, obviously the building isn't preferably preservable. I know you mentioned, I gutted the building. Nothing was done without, I had to gut the building to, see what was there structurally. The house is structurally unsound. It's just, it may be old, but it's an old dilapidated house that's not worthy of saving.
And that certainly can be your opinion, Mr. Tavano, and we will have our opinion as well. And we will welcome your right to make a case to us at the public hearing.
And what's the next step? So at the public hearing, so just explain to me, because I don't understand.
I would refer you to our demolition delay bylaw.
Right.
It's all,
I did read that, but I still can't, I still don't understand that because it's not clear. Because first I'm confused. I didn't even receive any kind of notice that even for this meeting tonight. I mean, it's my property that I pay taxes on. So just explain to me if you have a couple minutes. It doesn't have to be long. What happens at the public meeting and
the
then,
public hearing will be we will advertise the public hearing in the daily item so that other people would have the opportunity, if they wanted to be heard on the subject.
okay, and then.
And you as well, and the commission.
What happens after that meeting?
We'll decide whether, in our opinion, the building is preferably preserved.
Okay, and
And
if.
if that's the case, we will delay the demolition the full 6 months. The 6 months starts with the date on which you took out the application to demolish.
Okay, just who covers my costs for the 6 months of taxes and losing my lost opportunity cost? Is that something the board covers, or can I charge the town for that? Because it is my.
No, Mr. Tavano, that is not. No, you indicated to me that you knew when you purchased the building, you knew
Right,
it
but
was
I
on
mean, who
Howard
just
list.
covers my hardship? Because I know I was just at town meeting and they talked about the public safety building and how they tried to hold that up and how the town would face financial hardship should these delays occur. Well, I'm facing a financial hardship. I mean, I'm a taxpayer of this town. I'm improving a dilapidated property. And it's a financial hardship for the 6 months. So I just want to know how I'm compensated. I don't know. I mean, I'll talk to the assessor. Do they give me a break on taxes? I mean, what do they do? I'm just curious. Do you have one set up from the state to preserve these these buildings, I mean, I'm happy to put it for sale if someone wants to buy it.
I don't know that you have really been acting toward preserving the building. You took the windows out and it's been open to the elements.
Once I heard, well, open to the elements, the roof has been leaking there for years and the house had mold and all kinds of rodents.
And we will be happy to discuss all of these things with you at our public hearing in September.
Okay, I'm just.
So, We thank you very much for coming. We certainly value your input. But
Well, it's a public meeting, and I think I'm just gonna hang around for a little while if you don't mind, but
Sure.
I will be seeing you in September, obviously.
Sure.
All right,
Okay, we will now move on to the next element of our a building that might be subject to the bylaw. Someone might be interested in changing it or making substantive changes to it. That building is 133 Greenwood Street. I just wanted to let you know about this, and I'm going to try to share my screen with you if I can figure out how to do this.
I'm sorry, Nancy, did you say 130 or 133?
133 Greenwood Street, Fran.
Thank you.
Yeah, and it seems like I'm not going to be able, it is, part of that building dates to 1795. It's commonly known as the Three Color House because it was owned by three families, all named for colors, the browns, the whites, and the greens. Okay, it seems like I am not able to, I'm not able to share this screen after all. So I'm going to X out of this now.
Gene's waving. I don't know what he's trying to tell us.
Oh, maybe he's gone to see the Three Color House. At any rate, I just wanted to tell you about it. I will send you the state's listing on the house so that we can be prepared for it. I've had at least 10 or 12 people, realtors and other people contact me because they're interested in the house and they wanted to know about changing its siding and things like that. So I just wanted to give you a heads up. Also, on the amendment to the public hearing, amendments to the demolition delay bylaw, this is something that's been on our minds for a while because in the November 2018 town meeting, amendments were made to the bylaw, but somehow or other they never showed up in the town laws. So I've been following this around for a while, trying to resolve the matter. Sent a letter requesting clarification to the town clerk and the town council, and then also wrote to the bylaw review committee that had been behind the amendments to the bylaw. They did not reply to my email. So therefore I contacted WCAT and was able to get a tape of that town meeting, watched the tape, and I found that in fact, yes, the amendments to the bylaw had passed, but somehow or other they had not made it into the town record or the town report. And so then I contacted Tom Mullen, who is currently forwarding these clauses to the Attorney General for review, after which they will finally, after all this time, finally become part of our bylaw. So I just wanted to keep you posted on that. And if you have, if you'd like to see that town meeting, if you're wondering about what was going on at it, I'll be happy to send you the link to it. I've also requested that archival copies of that town report be amended to show that the full amendments were passed. And these changes should also be reflected in online copies to the town report. And I was thinking that in light of the things that have happened recently to various property, we might want to do another amendment to the bylaw covering the issue of demolition by neglect. We've seen a couple of issues come up over time. I don't know if that having a demolition by neglect clause would have saved, for example, the Winship mansion. I think it probably wouldn't have, but I think it's worth entertaining the idea of having such a bylaw. A couple of different communities have enacted a demolition by neglect clause to their bylaw. And over the next few days, I will send you the wording to each one of you so that you can read it over. And this will be something that we can discuss at our next meeting. It would cover things like leaving the structure open to the elements and things like that. And we've seen that that has hastened the demolition of some structures in the past. And so I think this is something we should consider, even though we would then have to go to town meeting and start the trying to amend the bylaw all over again. So anybody have any questions about that? I think these Zoom meetings kind of inhibit the conversation, but whatever. In the past few days, we had that horrible storm. And I'm sure all of you were aware of that so many trees came down, so many branches, horrible damage to trees on the Upper Common and other places. And one of the places where dramatic things happened was at the old burying ground, I'm sorry to say. And I had wanted to share some photographs with you to show you what what some of the damage was. A huge, huge tree, for example, that was right in the middle of where the Revolutionary War era gravestones predominantly are, fell down. Miraculously, none of the gravestones were broken, but a lot of them were uprooted. And I had photographs of them I had wanted to show you, but it seems like I'm not going to be able to. Zoom has its limitations after all. I don't know if you could be able to. Can you see that?
Yes.
You see it?
Yep.
It's a huge tree that came down right in the middle of gravestones dating from around 1790 and thereafter. This stone right here, oh, wait a minute, that's junk. That's not what you want to see. One of the gravestones that was displaced was the gravestone of Benjamin Brown, who was a Revolutionary War general, served at Ticonderoga. His property was where the Beebe Mansion is right now. And he was a tanner, a very important person in town. He was the town clerk. He was a member of the Board of Selectmen. He was important in the church. And more important to me, his gravestone was just beautiful. Here's another tree damage kind of thing you can see. See, Benjamin Brown's gravestone is out of the ground there. So I don't know if all of you guys have experience with the gravestones in the old burying ground, but they are, the slate ones are very, very heavy. And usually for every part of the gravestone that you see, another 1/3 is below the ground. So they are actually quite massive, and they're made out of slate. So because of that, it's kind of beyond the volunteer effort to reset the gravestone. So I did contact the Director of Public Works and asked him to kind of put that on his agenda, or the DPW's agenda, to get those gravestones reset. Obviously, they're not, there's nothing that we can do to replace them, not adequately. And they're irreplaceable, and they're kind of precious, historically as well as artistically. Joe, my husband, and my son managed to put Benjamin Brown back into his place, but it will actually take another 2 guys to get it in place fully. So stay tuned for that. I'm not going to try to make you guys come out and shift gravestones around, although I have done that in the past. But it's been a long time since then. We're actually lucky that no more of them were broken, because it was a significant storm, and I'm sure you've all seen the trees that were upended on the Upper Common, that giant birch tree, and in various other places as well. So we're very lucky that none of the gravestones were actually broken. So that's actually about all that I had. Does anybody else have anything?
Do you think in September we'll be back in person meetings? Have you heard anything regarding that?
I haven't. I have heard that the town has kind of indicated that through September at least, we
Okay.
probably will not be meeting in person, although there's no way to know. Various things, the library's not open. You know, we can't have rentals at the Hartshorn House. We can't have the museum open. So I don't think that we'll probably be able to have public. I think we'll still be having a Zoom meeting at our next meeting.
Okay,
So if that should change, I'll certainly let you know.
sure.
And we will be posting the meeting as a Zoom meeting for the purpose of the public hearing.
Okay.
Okay. Does anybody else have anything?
Looks like Jean does.
Yeah, I think Jean does.
I can't see Jean at all.
It says, seeing lawyer next week about presentation restriction.
Okay. Where do you see that?
He held up paper.
Oh,
Yeah,
he
he had
did.
paper,
Oh, I
yeah.
can't see.
He wrote it down.
All right. Okay. Well, then I guess we will conclude the meeting now. It was a quick meeting, but it was eventful. Hopefully we'll be able to meet in person again soon, but we'll be having a public hearing at 8 o'clock on Thursday. Fran, do you know the date of that meeting?
It's a Wednesday, right?
Yeah. I guess we've lost Fran.
No, I'm sorry. I'm still here. It's the 23rd,
Okay. So it'll be
September 23rd.
September 23rd,
Right.
8 o'clock will be the public hearing.
Okay, and I did make note that the application was done on July 8th. So we're looking at 6 months, brings it, I think, to December.
Right. The letter from the town building inspector was dated July 14th.
Oh, July 14th. Okay.
But I also have the building permit application,
Okay.
which is indeed dated the 8th of July.
But you go by when the letter was sent?
No,
Okay.
no, it's all it's all done by the statute. We have to act within a certain amount of time of receiving the letter. We're supposed to, on the same day as the permit is filed, we're supposed to be notified, or a notification has to be sent to us.
Oh, I
The
see.
whole thing has to chug along on its own little timetable. And we only have, the 6 months, and we have it's actually very limited. But anyway, you're quite correct. It was July 8th. So it will be 6 months from that day, should we decide to delay the demolition of that structure.
Mhm. Okay.
Town council has indicated that the building inspector might ask the owner to board up the windows if we decide to enforce the demolition delay. That's getting ahead of ourselves. So,
Okay.
yeah.
And you're going to speak to the building inspector about what, if they're doing interior demolition, what is considered interior on a historic building?
I think we have to revisit. I think we should all read the demolition delay bylaw so that we're all up to speed with exactly what it says. I
Yeah.
don't know that it says that interior demolition can be done.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't know that it says that. I can certainly have a lawyer look at it.
Okay, I'll find it online and take a look.
Yeah, it's on our website, which is historicwakefield.com.
Okay.
So thank you guys, and we'll see you next month. If you have, I'll send you draft minutes of this meeting. I'll send the minutes of the last meeting to Sherry, who will make them available to the public should they want to have some sleepy time reading. Okay, guys, I'm going to practice Zooming in the next month. I promise I'm going to be so much better at it. I'll be a master. And maybe or maybe not, but see you next month. Bye-bye.
All right, thank you.